Surly, and we are live, Mr. Gracey, show
Well,
94.
what's up? 94. That was a good year.
Yeah, dude. Little album came out that year that you might have had a
Yeah,
part in.
little record called Throwing Copper came out that year, 94. Nice.
Yes, 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 dude. And we had on Mr. Chad Taylor on Friday, dude. Your fans are going nuts for that interview. They were loving that
That's
you
cool.
guys are talking.
It's great to have him on. Yeah, we've been conversating and working on stuff and no music yet, but other than the video that we did, so don't get too excited, but we're
Yeah,
talking about maybe working on some stuff like that, but definitely putting out things like The Turn, re-releasing it. Probably going to put out Death of the Dictionary, like on a wide
yes.
release, that kind of stuff. B-sides,
I
um,
love it.
because I mean, as we have stated, Patrick, Chad, and I control Action Front, and we control the license, so we can do whatever we want. Ed
Yeah.
has no say.
And
despite
it was
despite what his lawyers think, because they're representing the lead singer, that he's the gospel of live. It's like, no, 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 you don't
sorry.
control the company that controls live.
Yeah.
So I
False
mean, we could
flag.
literally put together a band. Patrick, Chad, and I could put together a band, hire a singer, and go out and tours live.
And we don't know if that's not going to happen, folks. So don't push the envelope, Mr. K.
What's up, Troy?
Uh, yeah. Well, dude, so your fans are even saying they're like, they don't even know if Ed could keep up with the OG members, man. They don't know if he's on your musical level anymore. So these are some of the things that are starting to be said.
Well, I mean, listen, he did. Obviously, he's done amazing lyrics and melodies, and he
Yeah.
brought in some great songs too, like "I Alone." That's him. I mean, totally. There's a bunch of others that, but like it was the four of us that made the magic.
Yeah.
But then you go on to, I mean, you go on to listen to something like TGF or The Turn, like that has Patrick, Chad, and I on it. That seems to be a good ingredient.
Yeah.
There's those things didn't blow up and do exceptionally well, but like the music is good.
Yeah. And that all comes down to marketing and how the stuff is put out has nothing to do with the music on there because anybody who's listened to that, knows that those are fucking hardcore rocking albums.
Yeah, I think my next video I'm going to put out is 6310 Rogerton from The Turn.
Yeah, baby.
Then I
Pe-
recorded Appetite too.
Sick. Yeah, dude. They're all fans are stoked for this, so we can't wait, man. It was cool and it was cool to see Chad Taylor kind of like back to his earlier form. Like you could tell he's doing a lot of work on himself and like,
Mhm. Yeah.
like trying to right wrongs in the past and like, apologize for shit that he's done and move forward and stuff, which is kind of cool. It was
Yes.
refreshing to hear that.
It is good to see. Yes, for sure. It's good to see him taking responsibility for some things
Yeah.
and righting some wrongs that he, admitting that. I mean, we all do stupid shit. We all no one's perfect. I get that. Um, but yeah, it's good to see that he's sober and moving
100.
forward.
And I'll tell you what's really like fucked up. Like we spoke about it before. It's like your band was just putting out such great music, and the fact that Chad Taylor is writing some of these lead off songs to albums and like some of the bigger hits, it seems that like something sparks in Ed's head where he's not cool with that and he's like getting jealous of it or something, and like that's where the fraction comes. Like he couldn't handle the fact that your biggest songs weren't written by him, and that's just crazy that he couldn't realize that it was all for one for all. It didn't matter who fucking wrote it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree with that sentiment. That's how bands work. It's like, like Chad said, you see Bono doing a solo career. Do you see James Hetfield doing a solo career? Do you see Michael Stipe doing a solo career? No, it was a band. Like that was a band. They worked together, and
Yep.
so someone let their ego get completely out of fucking control. An obsession with fucking publishing and who wrote what, and I did this and blah. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Chad was a little that way too, saying that when he says I wrote Selling Drama, he wrote the guitar part that became Selling Drama, and I've said this many times.
Sure.
But in Ed's mind, like that was the lead single off of. So Chad wrote the lead single that was off of Operation Spirit. That was Chad off of
Yep.
Mental Jewelry, and then Solving the Drama, and then Lakini's Juice. 3 in a row.
3 in a row.
3 bangers in a row. Lead single, great songs, did really well.
Yeah.
And it's like, who fucking cares if he wrote those ideas?
Yeah. And it seemed like
we all benefit.
Exactly. And your fans benefited. you know, music benefited. And it seemed like the record company was trying to turn my head into the new Lightning Crashes. And Chad Taylor even said, like, what a beautiful song Ed wrote, melodically, lyrics, everything beautiful. Well, it just wasn't Lightning Crashes in the like zeitgeist, like as far as singles go and stuff like that. And like that puts a thing in Ed's head, like, dude, fucking be happy that you have Lightning Crash and all that stuff. It's absurd to me. And if with Bono and stuff like that, if he wanted to do a Bono solo record, he's not going to force U2 to do that Bono solo record. He's going to go out and do a solo record and not force this shitty music down the U2's back. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a way to kind of do that.
That was songs from Black Mountain.
Yeah. Songs from Ed's Mountain, as you've coined.
Here, you're playing to this. Like, okay, monkey, perform. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Wow. This is a great way to do music.
It's so crazy, dude. Like, and like just the fact, like, how do you think like if Ed, put yourself in those shoes, like, would you be cool with that? Like how this band started and then all of a sudden, this is what we're doing. Yeah. Like it, take it.
Well, then the ultimate fuck you to me was the whole 717 thing, and Chad contends, and I'm kind of apt to believe in that was Ed. Ed wanted to play with a shiny new toy named Robin Diaz, who's a great drummer, as I've said, and I have no problem with Robin, but like he was in the band with the 2 drummers, and what I've gotten after the fact was that we had to have 2 drummers on in case you got hurt again. It's like, motherfucker, I was full strength playing fucking hard every night. If I got hurt again, then bring him back, but don't have 2 drummers on stage to like back me up.
Yeah,
it was the stupidest fucking thing ever.
Agreed.
But anyway. And then, the whole 717 thing goes down. And I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me, dude. It was unbelievable. Yeah. And I had to live this whole, like, lie about, oh, no, I actually played on it. It was me. It's dumb.
Yeah.
And I mean, listen, I'll take responsibility for letting that happen. And I'm never going to let that kind of shit happen to me again. Ever.
Yeah, good.
I will stand up and say, fuck you. I'm not doing it.
Right. You were trying to make nice. You were trying not to create waves like the band.
To be a team player. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is what I've always done in the band, be a team player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like you can't be a team player sometimes. You got to speak your mind. You don't have to be rude about it, but you got to speak your mind and stick to your guns because you've been right a lot of times. And when you've made these successions is when like shit fucking didn't go right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, as I said, I'll take responsibility for being too loyal in those instances, but ain't
for sure
again.
And like you said, I believe Taylor now too. It's like if this was 4 years ago, whatever, but it seems he's on like a real truth tour. Like he realizes like some of the mistakes he's made. He's doing his work to get sober, and these stories, although they're hard to talk about, truth is truth, and you got to say the facts the way it is. It's not like you're pointing fingers and blah 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 blah. It's just kind of talking about how things happened, and
yeah,
how
absolutely.
It went.
How it went, baby. How it went.
Exactly. Just because it went that way doesn't mean it's like, oh, it's all this person pointing fingers. It is what it is.
Right. Well, that's exactly how, the last instance of someone taking advantage of my loyalty was the whole situation we're in now where Ed came to me to fire Chad and he's like, we'll go on tour. I'm like, okay, great. Let's go on tour.
Yeah.
I'm single. I want to go on tour.
Yep. And even Chad Taylor said he was cool with that because it was 3/4 of Live going to do Live, not fucking one member of Live pretending to be Live and going out and touring. Like that's what he was cool with. That's what the 3 of you were cool with. Like it's just, I don't know how Ed just thinks. It's absurd. Like I know I keep saying that because it's just absurd. There's no other word for it. It's a fucking slap in the face to fans, to you guys, to everybody. And it's not cool, man.
Ego's a bitch. It really is.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, brother. You got to let that ego. See, you know what it is? You need a part of it but just you can't have
Oh no,
fucking
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
the part that lets you stand up for yourself and all that jazz.
Well, and the part that lets you get up on stage and sing to people, like that's a big ego thing. Like you need that, right? That's,
Yeah.
but once you start believing your own shit,
Yeah.
as they say,
Yeah.
that you are the man and because lead singer, everyone's coming to the lead singer, everyone talks to the lead singer, the management's always talking to leads, everyone's like the lead singer becomes the focus of a band. Great,
Right.
understand that. But then when you start to believe that, oh yeah, they're doing that because I'm great, instead of I'm just the lead singer and like
The
people
front man.
tend to gravitate towards me.
Right.
When you start to believe that, oh no, everyone's coming to me because I'm the best and it's all because of me,
Yeah.
then you've lost your way because you don't
Yes.
see Bono doing that. You don't see fucking Michael Stipe doing that. You don't see James Hetfield doing that.
Yeah.
All these great bands where they are a band like we
Yeah.
were, and they've had monstrous success because they figured out, all of them, that the band is the band.
Yeah.
Period.
And you humble yourself. You give credit where credit is due. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. Like you hear, I'm going to use Dave Matthews for instance because I just heard him speak a lot about his bandmates. He says all the time like they're the fucking like I'm not like these guys are better than me. Like I'm fucking happy to be in a band with them. Like they
Yeah.
bring this out of me.
Mhm.
So it's like that's what bands do. You vibe together, and when you get those right pieces, you all bring each other up. That's the key.
100%.
Yeah,
That's what happened.
yeah, yeah.
And
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 it's
then
like you,
and then we go back to the chart where you see the decline of taking over more and more of the writing and owning more and more of the writing, and the record sales go down, 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 and keep going down. See ya.
dude, absurd. Yo, you know what kind of blew my mind, dude? When Taylor was talking about the Dam at Otter Creek, and he said he fucking dreamt that song and basically like dreamt it in concert and then had to wake up the next day and fucking like figure out what he dreamt. That's
Hmm.
awesome, dude. Like that's a fucking
That's pretty
cool
crazy,
ass
right?
story. Yeah, because you've heard like artists talk about like, oh, this song came to me in a dream, and then it kind of stops there. He got into the whole thing, told you about the dream, and then told you like how he pulled it out of his brain the next day. It was fucking cool to hear.
Yeah.
I don't know if a musical artist has said it that way before when they were talking about songs that came to them in
Yeah.
dreams.
Well, Eddie came up with those great lyrics too for and when we used to go to Otter Creek and build dams there and dive in the water, so that was pretty cool for that effect.
Oh,
We weren't
wow.
carrying dead men in sheets to the river.
Sure, sure. Yeah,
That
CIA, okay,
that's a
sure.
little fiction, but that's okay.
Yeah, you gotta add that in there. Um, what else was I thinking about that? Um, yeah, the just the way you guys kind of were firing on all cylinders back in the day, writing from the death of a dictionary. Like, I don't even how many albums did you have by the time you were 20, dude? Like Death of a Dictionary, Mental Jewelry, and I think Throwing Copper by like the time you're what, 20, 21?
We were starting to write Throwing Copper when we were in our 21, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I turned 21 on the road for Mental Jewelry in '92, so we were starting to work on songs for Throwing Copper, like some things.
So you were out touring before you could get a
Oh
drink
fuck yeah,
legally.
dude! There's a couple places. I remember this place in San Diego. We couldn't even go inside the building until we played because we were underage. So we
Oh
couldn't sound
shit.
check or anything. We could only go on stage when we played.
Did you feel like when you were like performing with other bands, did you feel like you guys were like young kids, like performing with older like bands
Oh,
and
yeah,
shit?
especially on the 120 Minutes tour where it was John Lydon and friggin' and Mick from Big Audio Dynamite. I mean, yeah. And Mick's in the Clash too, so
I
it was
just
like,
can't
yeah, holy shit, we're like road dogs here. We were like the new little fresh meat.
dude, it's just impressive that you guys were able to fucking like do that and shine on stage being young and fucking around like, older people and stuff like that. It's fucking cool to hear.
Troy Garman's asking a question. Troy, you don't know this? What does the phrase throwing
What'd he
copper
say?
mean? Come on, man. Come on. I've told this story a
Come
million
on,
times.
Troy.
I'm giving Troy shit because he's on my lives every night on TikTok. But you want me to go through the story again, Troy?
Let's do it.
We were on
Come on now.
Long Island doing late tours for Mental Joy, but early tours for Throwing Copper. And Throwing Copper had been made, and we had to name the record. We had like 2 weeks to name the record before it came out. They had a release date and everything. And we went to a sporting goods store in a mall and got BB guns, pew-pews, as they say. And we were out back shooting cans and stuff out back of the dressing room. And Patrick goes, "Yo, we're throwing copper instead of throwing lead." So there you go.
Boom, shakalaka. Nisa said it should have been pinching pennies.
Has nothing to do with pennies. BBs.
Yeah. BB.
It's all good, Troy. I'm just giving you shit, bud.
Yeah, we got to bust your boys, Mr. Balls, Mr. Garmin. You know this. The gracious contest winner. We're going to be doing another gracious contest coming up, folks. Yo, so Chad, you said something pretty dope that I wanted you to talk about because it shows your character and what the good side you have talking about Joe Biden's prostate cancer and that you feel bad for him. Unlike
I've seen several MAGA, conservative, whatever you want to call them, come out and say, "I didn't like Joe Biden's presidency. I don't really like the man, but I'm empathetic and I'm sad that he has cancer and his family's going through this." I feel the same way. Like, unlike the left, if Trump had cancer right now, they would be fucking going off, wishing him death. I mean, it would you would, and that's where the ugliness is in our political whole political system. It's all on the left. The right has the ultra right, the fucking neo-Nazis, whatever the hell you want to call them, the racist pieces of shit that no one in the party fucking wants to have anything to do with. Great. They identify with the right somehow. I don't know why. But the left are the ones firebombing shit, fucking burning down cities, fucking constantly trying to cancel people, with applauding when Trump's almost assassinated. They would have, if it was his diagnosis right now, they would be applauding it and fucking going, "Yeah, let him die," because they're fucking morally bankrupt people. Sorry, it's just what it is. But then they always try to paint the right as like we're the bad guys. It's like no. Look at your behavior. Look at your party's behavior, and then they'll go, "Oh, what about January 6th? Okay, great."
Yeah, that they helped lead the people there. That
Well,
it's crazy. Like evil is being exposed. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they're exposing themselves like pretty rapidly, and people are waking up to it. And like we're getting to a point like we don't want this. We want love. We want peace. We want America to prosper. We want no wars. We want all fucking good stuff. We don't want evil doing its fucking bidding.
And no matter what he does, no matter what Trump does, it's always negative. Whatever they find some stupid negative thing, it's like, oh my God, this whole Qatari plane thing. That was initiated. I saw a senator talk about this. That was initiated in the Biden administration, by the way. The Qatari giving us the plane. Okay.
Yeah.
And their whole, and they always misdirect. They always say lies. It's like, oh, it's Trump's plane. He's going to take it with him when he leaves. And there's multiple interviews now where Trump's like, no, I'm not getting the plane. It goes to the United States of America, specifically the DOD. I'm not taking it with me when I leave.
Right.
Stop lying, because that's all they fucking do. But anyway, the Biden administration initiated this whole plane from Qatar because the backup there's 2 Air Force Ones, VCA 25 or whatever the call signs are. There's 2 of them. One of them is gone. It's structurally inefficient. They're 40-year-old planes. So there's only 1 Air Force One. There's no backup. So the Biden administration initiated these discussions with Qatar, apparently, to bring in this new plane as the backup in case they need it to the Air Force One.
Right.
Because Boeing is now delayed again. I can't believe they gave Boeing the F-47 contract. It just blows my mind.
Yeah, after all the shit that their planes have been doing.
And now the new Air Force One, the 2 planes are delayed and not in service yet. So anyway, this whole transaction was initiated by the Biden administration, and now the left is running with it and going, "Oh no, Trump's going to get a plane when he leaves." It's like, God, why do they lie? And then they're always proven wrong. They say these blatant lies. They had taken on some little kernel of truth. There is a plane apparently being gifted, but then it's like, oh no, it's being gifted to Trump and he's going to take it with him. It's like, no, that's not what's happening. That's not what's happening.
Now, I'm going to sound a little naivete. Like, I don't know Qatar's, like, what their, political affiliations are, like what they represent, all that jazz. Like, would you be worried about this plane that there's possibly some, like, spy stuff on there, or, like, possibly, like, something that, they fucked up with how it could operate? Like, so in other words, it hits 10,000 miles and something breaks. Like, would do you think any of that could happen? Like, we should be leery or weary
Anything's
of the
possible.
plane? Yeah.
Anything's possible.
Right?
So, I mean, I don't know.
Anything.
I mean, it's not my job to figure that out. Someone in government is going to go through it to make sure it works properly and doesn't have bugs on it, I would imagine.
With a fine-tooth comb.
Yeah, just like Troy said, we need to give the Statue of Liberty back now because it was a gift from France.
You're right. Yeah.
Right.
We'll melt it down first. Do you think that Biden is going to run in 2028? I'm hearing that he's going to be getting a miracle dose to fix his prostate cancer, and he's running on the ticket.
It was up to his disgusting wife that has not stood up for his fucking health and well-being. Probably. She'd let him run.
Yeah.
She is a power-hungry biatch. I'm sorry. It's ridiculous. What the guy was cognitively declined the whole time he was in office. As we have all said, no, it's a conspiracy theory. You literally have Jake Tapper, who would attack people for saying that, call them conspiracy theorists, now wrote a book about it, as if he didn't go along with the lie the whole time and actually do journalism and figure out that this guy was not fit to be president. Now he's written a book about it, selling it for millions of dollars, saying, "Oh, we missed it. Oh, we just missed it." No, you were complicit in the lie the whole friggin' time, dude. Everybody fucking knew it. But if you say anything, you were a conspiracy theorist. And then that's how this whole apparatus works. You see something that is obviously the truth, you say it, you're a conspiracy theorist, and then all of a sudden, a few years later, the media is like, "Oh no, it's true," and there's no retractions, there's no apologies for getting it wrong, there's nothing. It's just like, nope, just move to the next story. It's just wild to watch.
It is. And the fact that, like we were saying earlier, that his prostate cancer is so advanced and so, like, at the worst stage, this could have been going on during his presidency, and they were covering it up the whole time.
See? Men can have babies.
Come on now.
No, I've seen 2 urologists on CNN. One was on CNN or MSNBC, and one was on Fox, saying that this far advanced prostate cancer was not missed at a physical that Biden had in sometime in 24. He had a physical. There's no way that cancer was missed and it be this far advanced at this point. So meaning that he had cancer the whole time. And there's a clip of saying that he had cancer in 2022. I just watched it again. I remember watching it before and going, did he just say I have cancer? And he does. He says I have cancer.
Wow.
And then the media was like, no, he made a gaffe. The White House, no, it was a gaffe. He had cancer. He admitted he had cancer.
So that could explain why you saw, like, how rapidly, not only mentally he went down, but physically. Like, the guy couldn't walk up flights of stairs at times. He could barely stand on stage at times. Like, so a lot of that is kind of eye-opening on why shit like that was going on. And the American public was just blind, or not blind to it, just not being told about it.
Yeah, your mom says it pisses her off that no one is held accountable. Me too. I mean, then there'd be arrests. And here's the other brilliant thing the left is doing now. Now that Kash Patel's in charge of the FBI, now they're telling him that he's weaponizing the FBI. It's like, you people literally for 4 fucking years, well, no, 8 years basically, weaponize the FBI to surveil a sitting president, and then go along with the Russian collusion bullshit, and then send out FBI agents to talk to parents at school board meetings that didn't like their DEI agendas that they're putting out, labeling terrorists, and now you're going to accuse us of weaponizing the DOJ and the FBI. It's like, God, it's what they do, man. It's like they they accuse you of what they did or what they've done.
But it's like exhausting, Chad. Like it's
That's the whole point
exhausting
of it.
that we keep going through. Yeah, dude. They try to exhaust you to where you're like, I
That's the
can't
whole point.
anymore with this. Just
Yep.
yeah, man. Well, we're not giving
Oh,
up,
exactly. I mean,
motherfuckers. So
truth wins. Truth always wins.
yeah.
And you
Yep.
it's just amazing. It is amazing. And that's the whole, like I said, that's the whole point. They want to exhaust you, and just so you go, okay, whatever you say, I'll do. Okay, yes, I'll be a sheeple
Yeah.
for you. Okay, yes, great.
Yeah. And they almost got us there,
Mhm.
man. Almost.
Well, I
But
mean, as you said, like, what
and
was the plan if they knew Biden had cancer in 2022 or his whole presidency? It's like, well, the plan was to run him again. He
yep.
that 6 months in or 2 months in, "Oh, I have cancer, I can't be president." Kamala would be president, and we'd be fucked.
Got
But
their
then he did
candidate.
that horrible fucking, he had to do that debate, and he did horribly, as we all knew he would, but actually he did more horrible
Yep.
than I thought he would, and became readily apparent that he couldn't run. And then they put in Kamala. They select Kamala anyway, and then they run her as if like she's the new best thing going. Like, it's like she was the worst vice president in history. All of a sudden, she's selected as your candidate, and you're like, "Yay, she's great! I'm a sheeple.
Yep.
Yes, I don't care
Yep.
that we didn't elect her or have a primary for her. They just selected and said, this is who you're voting for. Okay, great. Let's do it. I'll go along with
The
your
day
lies."
before.
It's like, fuck, man. Then they call us they say that we're in a cult. It's like, no, all your cult-like behavior is on that side. Everything you do and think and believe is propaganda and cultish shit. Like, if someone tries to leave your
If
cult, what happens? You disavow them, you cancel them, you try to hurt them. That's what happens when you leave the left, man. They go after you. If you leave the right, people are like, okay,
oh
go leave
yeah.
the right. Go be a lefty. Fine.
It's like trying to leave Scientology. That's what
Exactly.
the left is like.
The ultimate cult.
Yeah. Come after your family, come after
Uh-huh.
everybody. All to pressure you into being silent and hopping back in and hopping on their fucking agenda and being on board with it. Let's see what Nadine put up here because she's always got some cool stuff. So I'm guessing, as crazy as it sounds, you don't realize Biden is an actor. The real Biden was executed around 2019. That's why Biden in the basement in 2020 and wasn't seen that much. Call me crazy. I'm okay with that. But the truth, hey, I'm not calling you crazy with that.
That may be true.
Yeah,
But the fact is,
yeah, it might be.
whoever the actor was still was cognitively declined and now supposedly has cancer. And who was in charge of our government for 40 fucking years? Because it wasn't him.
Right.
Whether he's an actor or
And
not, he wasn't in charge.
we definitely saw some Biden actors because there was that one tall dude that was like towering over Jill,
Right.
like
Yes.
fucking by 6 inches. That it's crazy, man.
Yep.
And the walk was way different.
Oh, there was like 3 different
Fucking
versions of him.
yeah.
Fucking
Yeah,
wild,
yeah.
man.
You see one guy running upstairs, like, dude, you fell down the stairs 3 days ago. Now you're just
Yeah.
jogging up like leisurely. Like, come on, man.
The facade is wild.
And the funny part is, it's like you're saying these things and it sounds crazy. And that's how they win, because it sounds crazy that
Oh,
they're
yeah.
doing it. And it's crazy that they're doing it.
And like I said, whether an
But
actor or not, it sounds crazy to say that that president was not in charge of the country, because he wasn't. Like, who was signing all the executive orders, all these auto pen signatures? Who was that? Like, who was leading the cabinet meetings? Who was in charge? Jill Biden? Jill and fucking Joe, or Jill and fucking Hunter?
uh-oh. We got an angry Bill
There he
Hines,
is.
Mr. Gracey. Bill, I love you, dude. This was not that. But here, Bill said it from his own mouth. You ready, folks? He broke up live, and he was also Biden's doctor and his diagnosis. Gotta love Bill.
2 ridiculous things
Good old,
that aren't true.
but you could put them out
That's
like
right.
they are. Taking a page from the left, folks.
Yes.
Troy says it's interesting that you bring up Scientology. I wonder if you guys could get Leah Remini.
Oh,
I would
she'd be
love to
awesome.
have her on and have
Oh
her
my
just.
God.
Yeah, man. And good for her for taking that stand to come out against them, because that's a fucking fight you don't want to go
Yeah,
against
she's one
either.
of the most famous people that have left Scientology, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And been vocal about it too.
Mhm.
And when it's funny though, Chad, when you're hearing it from the horse's mouth, like even their smear campaign against her, like Scientology's smear campaign against her, she's lying. Like, why would she lie about this? Like, what would her motive be? She was heavily devoted to your church for fucking all these years, and then all of a sudden she's getting out of it and lying about it. No, I'm pretty sure she's
Well,
telling the truth and realized
yeah,
she
she
was
got to
duped.
the highest level, and then they told her
Yeah.
what the truth of Scientology is, and you're just like, "What? This is friggin' wacky as hell, dude. It's crazy."
Yeah.
And
It
that
is
David
crazy.
Miscavige, the guy that
And
runs the church, his wife has been missing since 2017. Just gone.
gone.
No one
Not
there's
seen
no
in public.
investigation. No one talks about it. She's just missing. Like, okay,
Yep.
that's weird.
Oh, dude, they've done investigations and say like she's cool, but they're
Oh, you
lying
mean
with
their own
that too.
internal
Like nobody's supposed.
investigations? Of course. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
It's it's crazy, man. And like why wouldn't fucking I don't know, FBI look into that? Like a missing
Well,
person.
I mean, you heard how they got tax exempt status, right? What they did, their whole campaign against the IRS.
No,
Same.
talk to me.
This is how the Church of Scientology. I mean, this is an abridged version, like a basic version, but they applied for tax exempt status. The IRS is like, fuck no, you're not a church. You're not a religion. And then they just started digging up dirt on every IRS agent that was working on it and fucking blackmailed them.
Right. No, I do
And
remember
that's how
that now.
they have
Yeah.
tax exempt status. They have billions of dollars of real estate. They have billions of dollars in
Yep.
all these holdings, and they don't pay tax on anything because they're considered a church. That's why it's the Church of
You,
Scientology.
and you know what's crazy, dude? Like the fact that L. Ron Hubbard invented the religion and then was also like wrote the most science fiction words like ever from any
Mhm.
author. Like he didn't even like try to fake it, like because he wrote all that science fiction. Like he didn't even like try to like get somebody else to invent this religion. He just used his name to do it after he wrote all these other stories about similar
Oh, yeah.
fucking things
Yeah.
and then turned it into religion. It's crazy how it
Well,
went.
wasn't there an
And
interview or a statement where he said, I'm just gonna invent a religion or something like that? I believe there was, and he
probably.
did.
Yeah. I mean, they usually tell you what they're gonna do and then
Yes,
do
this
it.
is
It's
true.
like they slap. Yeah.
This is true.
You actually made me hip to that where they actually gotta say it and then do it. So it's like they were warned and fucking the prophecy's fulfilled.
Absolutely. Speak it into existence.
Yeah. What is
That's
501c3?
a charity LLC that you can set up, or a company to that doesn't have to pay taxes.
Ah,
But yeah,
beautiful. The Gracious Two
there's
is
very
setting
stringent rules about how those operate, but yeah,
like a nonprofit organization
basically,
type of
yes.
deal where they pay their board members $3
That is
billion
still alive,
a year.
yes. Yes.
Uh, yeah, well, we just got to start taking pages out of the people's playbooks that know how to work the system. You
Well,
know,
we'll give Democrats one thing there. As I said before, they're great marketers. They come up with great slogans like Black Lives
totally,
Matter,
man.
and what do they call them? Undocumented immigrant, and all these things that sound so benign and so like, oh yeah, you got to be for that, but it's all lies. It's all obfuscations, and like, no, they're illegals and they're not supposed to be here, but they're undocumented. They're undocumented workers. They're undocumented immigrants. Like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds nice, but they're illegals. Or Black Lives Matter,
And
that doesn't do anything for Black lives. But and if you say that,
except
all lives matter, you're racist. Like, what? That's what they do.
it's funny how they
Oh,
can do that.
it's hilarious how they do it.
You can mince those
Mhm.
words. Um, yeah. Can you imagine like that somebody could make you like racist for saying all lives matter? It's like the fact that that was a
Yeah,
thing,
it's insane. It's
and it's like,
literal insanity, and but you're shouted down for saying it. So that's their tactics. You,
yeah,
yeah,
and
it's crazy. And
it catches you
right,
off guard, Chad. So like when you first hear, you're like, wait, what? And then you're kind of thinking like, what the fuck? So you don't really have a fucking
no,
comeback right away for it. And then it's like, you know, but now it's like, come
So
on,
then you
motherfuckers.
go ahead and go out and start White Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Try to start that.
Yeah. That's
That is
racist.
racist. Just like
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter. All lives
Exactly.
matter.
100. Yep.
But the
Yep.
left would fucking lose their shit if you were like, White Lives Matter. Like, oh my God. Ah, what are you? What's wrong with you?
Well, I always said, you know, black entertainment, BET, if there was a white
God.
entertainment,
No.
fucking, it would be. But why is that though? Is it like, why can that, is it because like people were oppressed for so long that it's like you could start, because once you start making those concessions, stuff like that, it's like you're creating racism when you're making a black channel or you're making a white channel or an Indian channel. It's like, it kind of doesn't do what it's trying to do. I feel like it creates
Well, I mean, you know, black
division
people want to have their own
and
spaces, and I get that. That's fine. You know, if you want to congregate and have your own places where you can do stuff and have your own entertainment. Okay, sure, that's fine. I mean, I guess
but
because
then shouldn't
I guess
everybody
it's,
be able to do that?
well, you'd think so. I mean, yes, but you're not. I mean, I guess it's just because of the whole slavery thing, and you just, you know, the all the bad shit that happened in the past allows them to have black entertainment television, like, but you can't have white entertainment television. I don't know.
Well, here's my
It's stupid.
question, dude. Like, when does that like shit done? Like, what? Like, how do we keep paying for the sins of our fucking ancestors' past with that? Like, at some point, we got to say this was the past, and those people are not fucking here and with us anymore. So
Right.
we have to fucking move on from it and fucking unite and be a one people together. And that's
Well,
how.
it's the racism industrial complex at this point.
Yeah, it's how
There's
they keep
lots of
racism
people
going.
that fucking profit off of this. Like the
Yeah,
Reverend Al Sharpton, like there's a fucking whole layer of people that profit off people, like continuing the whole racist thing, and using the whole horrible past as the fodder and the fuel to keep racism going, because they all profit off of it. I mean,
it's
just think about how we were in the '90s. Like, you didn't give a fuck. Like,
right.
you didn't care if someone was black or white or brown or who. Like, no one really cared.
Yeah.
Of course, there's always the outlier, stupid fucking racist pieces of shit
They're going to be
on
there
both
for sure.
sides.
Yeah.
Great. But like in the '90s, like, dude, no one fucking cared. Racism, this whole racism thing started when Obama came into office,
Yeah. Well, and it's
and
like
it was on purpose.
I think the fact is like they're generalizing people that are racist. No, you have to point out the racist people and fucking focus on them. You can't just
Right.
generalize all white people are racist or all black people are racist.
Yeah, they completely watered down the racist thing now. You call me racist now, I'll be like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm racist because, oh, you think that's gonna hurt me or shut me up or whatever you're trying to do.
Yeah.
But it's like crying. It's like the boy who cried wolf. It's like, you know, okay, racist, fascist. Okay, yeah, I'm racist and fascist. Okay, yeah, just talking about the truth, but I'm racist and fascist. Yes, got
You know
it.
what's Chad, they're gonna clip this up of you saying I'm racist and fascist.
Exactly.
And then you are. That's how they do it, man. That's
Well,
exact.
dude, that is a common tactic with Trump on their side. They always
my
take
God.
shit out of context. Always. There's what was that guy? What's not Tim Pool. I think Tim Pool. He just had that comedian guy, fuck, what's his name? He had him on his podcast like not too long ago, like last week. And the guy still believes the very fine people on both sides argument. And Tim was going off on him. He's like, "What? You still believe that?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "It's been in the press everywhere that's bullshit. Like, you play the whole clip. He says very fine people on both sides, but I disavow the racists and the neo-Nazis." And the guy's like, "I never
Yeah.
saw him say that." It's like, yeah, no shit, because you're brainwashed. I mean,
Yep.
even Obama was still saying that shit in the election for Kamala Harris. He brought that up. Obama knows well and
Right.
good that is bullshit.
Yeah.
But they'll
Right.
lie to their constituents
And he's
that
feeding.
that's still a thing.
Yeah, man. It's fucking crazy. And you would think Obama would not want to fucking play that game. Like it just really fucks with my mind that I could like have a view of a person because you just see them like through fucking screens or fucking lenses. Like you have no personal connection to them. So, and you think you know them, and then you realize like they're an evil piece of shit, and your fucking thought of them was completely wrong. And it's like that doesn't happen in real life. Like I don't meet somebody in real life and fucking have like a view of them and then realize like I'm wrong on it. It's like they get away with it because it's done on camera and on TV and fucking in the best lighting and
that's
all
happened
that
to me in
shit,
real life.
so they
You
can
kidding me?
get. Yeah, true, true.
But
But you were young.
yeah.
Ish.
Yeah, no, it's insane. It's just wild that a former president would get up and say a lie like that, a complete and utter lie. Still in 2024, it's been debunked
All
3 ways of
for
Sunday, 7 ways of Sunday, and it's like, yeah, you're still spouting that old ass lie. Got it.
and it ruins his legacy, man.
Yeah.
What was that clip you sent me of, was it one of the Diddy victims talking about,
Yeah, but
like,
I've come to find out that she goes on and talks about all this crap like this and gets a lot of airtime, but she's apparently it could be fake.
okay, because the one thing I was gonna get into, like, I was kind of like going on board with everything she was saying, but then she hopped on the Michelle Obama is a man thing, and I'm like, all right, lady, how the fuck would you know that
Right.
for sure? Like, she said it so
Mhm.
matter of factly, like, I'm like, all right, so now other shit out of your mouth
yeah.
has to be
Right.
BS,
Mhm.
you know? I'm all about fucking Michelle being Mike Obama, but it's fun, and it could be, but I just don't really lay
Right. Yeah.
credence on it and say I know for a fact. Like when she said that, I'm like, wait a second. So did she pull out her dick and you saw it? Like, how do you know for a fact?
Right.
You know?
Exactly. So funny.
Unless because she was getting into like the people trafficking her and stuff. Maybe Mike Obama was trafficking her and pulled out his
Could have happened.
package
I mean,
and
that
she
could have
did see it.
happened.
Yeah,
You never know.
it could have. And that's, yeah. Well, I guess what they're doing, Chad, is like maybe this is now people fighting fire with fire. They're like, you want to fucking bullshit and put out lies as their facts? We'll do the same fucking thing to
Yeah,
you.
put up Scotty Blackman's yeah.
This last one,
Oh, that's 100% right, Scotty. They'll cause the problem,
the government will
they'll get
cause
the
the problem.
reaction, and then they'll give you the solution. Exactly. Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yeah, man. And that's been their MO since fucking like since the get. And that's why people say don't let government get
Mhm.
too big. But how do you stop government from getting
Well,
too big?
you take the conservative approach. You whittle down government, and
Well,
then
local.
and that's the other thing that the left is doing with what they're trying to do with Doge. They keep their whole, like I've heard them say it now a million times. They're cutting your Social Security. They're cutting out. They're taking away benefits from the veterans and the VA. They're cutting all these things. You're not going to have your insurance anymore. They're just spouting all these egregious lies when Doge is trying
Yeah.
to remove waste, fraud, and abuse. And
So you have
so
Social
they're
Security.
going to remove 1.5 million illegals from Social Security who aren't supposed to have it. So yeah, there's that little kernel of truth. They're removing people from Social Security. Yes, illegals that aren't supposed to have it, or people that are dead that aren't supposed to be getting it.
That have been getting paid for
Right.
300 and something years.
That's the left tactics. Obfuscate, obfuscate, obfuscate all the time.
Yeah. But you would think like, and I guess because it keeps working on some level, but it's getting to the point that it's like in real time.
Yeah, it gets the sheep
Yeah.
all like, oh yeah, they're cutting our Social Security. Ah, I hate Trump. I hate him. I hate him. I hate Elon. I'm gonna burn down a fucking Tesla dealership because I hate Elon because he's trying to help me. Okay, yeah, good job.
Dude, you're right. It's that frenzy that they work up
100%.
to, and then people not hip enough to get out of it and take a breath fucking are caught in it.
It's like that's
But
like the
they're
tariff
losing.
thing. He's gonna
But that,
crash the economy.
yeah.
Oh my God, we're going into a recession. Blah, 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 blah. And then when he's negotiating and changing the levels of the tariffs that he's putting out, oh, he's flinching. Oh, he's caving. It's like, God, just stop. Just let the man work.
Yeah.
Let him do something.
It seems like though, Chad, that more and more people are getting hip to their stuff, and it's working like for less and less time, and it's manipulating less and less people. So eventually they're just gonna fucking like get themselves out of the game fully, is the hope. And then like you need reckoning. Like it can't just be like these people like fade into the black and then they're out, whatever, because then they come back. You have to fucking put them on trial, let them stand for fucking the things that they've,
I agree.
the things that they've, answer for fucking what you
Oh,
did.
100%. They got to hold people
And
accountable. They got to start arresting people. But, and then, the whole left's going to freak out. Oh, they're weaponizing the justice system. But like, no, these people are doing illegal shit. There's some of them that have done illegal stuff. They got to, if money has been stolen from the government by some of these senators and on both sides, senators and congressmen, they need to be arrested. They need to be put on trial and need to be put in jail.
right.
100%.
Well, that's what it seems like they're like really like unwinding fucking our government, because like as you start digging into the past and like going into fucking past president shit and stuff and like maybe taking away executive orders that he's written, like how does that stop now? Like, because we know we have somebody in Joe Biden that absolutely auto pen was used and his cognitive level wasn't there, but until they could prove that, you know what I'm saying, and get some of executive orders off, what's to stop them from doing it when Trump gets out of office? Oh, well, he was mentally
Oh, they'll say that.
compromised,
Yeah.
with, you know what I'm
They've
saying?
been
Though
saying
it
that since
could
he
work.
ran for his first term, that he's
True.
mentally compromised. Like, what? And how do you say
Very
that when
true.
I mean, almost daily he has free for all fucking press conferences where he's taking
Yeah,
questions, multiple questions from multiple people. Like, did Biden ever do that? Did you ever watch Biden do that? No, you could, because he couldn't. He could not do that. And if he did for like 5 minutes, he would just go off script and they'd be like, okay, the interview's over. Okay. And then he couldn't get to find his way off stage.
dude, I'm seeing fucking videos of Biden like sitting at like a fucking dinner table, like a crowded like thing, and he's just
Oh,
like
yeah.
off into
Dude,
space, dude, for fucking
he
5
did that in
minutes,
Hawaii when
man.
we went out to visit the victims of Maui. He fell asleep in whatever they were having, some kind of presentation. He's just like,
Yeah. And I get it, man. I could get tired like that too, but I'm not running
yeah,
this country.
yeah.
You know
Our
what I'm
enemies see
saying?
that. They see it as weakness.
Yeah, man. And remember, like, who's gonna wake up this old man at fucking 2:30 in the morning? Mr. President, we have fucking a
Oh yeah,
serious issue, and then like he's gonna spring up and be
yeah.
ready to go to
No,
action. No,
no.
no. Oh, dude. So as 9/11, dude, that fucking video you sent me when I was at York with you, fucked my mind all up, by the way. So now I'm going through, and do you remember when they tell fucking George W. Bush that the towers have been hit, America is
Hmm.
under attack, right? So he sits there for a long ass time, and then what comes out is that he didn't want to scare
Hmm.
the
Right.
children. So as far as he knew, America was under attack. He didn't know by who. He's going to take his sweet ass time to not upset the children to jump
Right.
into action. No, motherfucker, you knew what was going on. You saw it on your face when they tell you, you're like, oh shit, it
Right.
actually happened. How do I
Hmm.
react? And then you're fucking playing it cool because you don't want to disturb the kid. No, dude, this is fucked
Yeah.
up, man. That reaction was a
Right.
clear tell that you didn't give a fuck. Maybe you were a little shocked that it happened, like you knew it was gonna happen, but like, oh shit, it
You would.
really did happen. And now you're like, how do
Oh
I
yeah, and you would
present
also think
myself?
that the Secret Service would immediately remove him onto Air Force
Right.
One, immediately airborne, so that he couldn't be targeted
Yep.
in any way. Like that would be the standard protocol. You would think.
Good point, Chad, because that was a televised, everybody knew he was gonna be
Hmm.
there that morning. It was a televised thing that the president was doing at that school. So in a real situation, if America's under attack, you're 100% correct. They're pulling the
Yeah.
president, getting them out of there, not even talking to him,
Yeah.
like pulling him in a real
What was that
scenario like that.
congressman's name that was in that video? Something Weldon.
Will Weldon or something,
But
yeah.
I just saw another interview with him again telling the story of the firefighters. They made it up. So they took the elevator up to the 40th floor. Then they hiked all the way up to the 80th floor, where the floor of impact, 82, I think it was. And he radios down. He
Right.
says, I'm on 82. There's two small fires. We can handle this. And then the building blows. They're gone. So you
Yep.
had fire season. This is a seasoned fire. He was like a captain or a lieutenant. Takes a team up to that floor Radio's down. We got 2 small fires. We can handle this. Buildings blow.
Yeah.
See ya.
And for the gracious audience out there wondering, this is posted on our social medias, that video. So if you want to go check that out, it's about an hour long, but it's so eye-opening, man. And this is, like you said, he's a fireman. He's a congressman. He's had firsthand accounts. He has no reason to lie.
Well, his son got killed.
Right. And he's worried about his own life. Not only his son got killed, a lot of people around him have fucking been killed and disappeared. And you know, I think he was kind of nervous to talk for a while, but now he's like, fuck this. Like, this shit needs to get out. Yeah, I definitely tell everybody to go check that out. But you know, like if the story goes down that way, man, there's a way bigger problem in our government than we're fucking even
that's
talking
the true
about.
Deep state. That is
Yeah.
Is, I mean, that whole operation was perpetrated by the deep state, and it's still active.
Yeah. But so I think though, as like they're getting like, as more and more stuff like this comes out, like they're getting exposed, like I think we're going to get to the bottom of it, be able to smoke these people out. Like it's either our government collapses or we fucking find this shit and get them out. The only Bush I trust is my own. Let's go, Jamie. Yep.
She doesn't want to come on the show because she thinks she's boring. I'm like, you can just do one-liners the whole time. It'd be friggin' awesome.
Well, I'm coming up with a fact that maybe she's not a real person, and she's an AI bot that
just does one-liners.
that comes up with. That's it. And Jamie, do us a favor when you do come on, shave that bush, lady. We could have got overcome without all those people dying, like the song, or And you did have the song without all those people dying because you guys had that out before. But yeah, man, it's just it makes you lose kind of faith that this is supposedly the best government on the planet, and it's doing fucking shady shit like this.
Yeah, I mean, there's
like what else?
There's tons of shit that the CIA has done that we don't even know about. I mean, and you start looking at stuff. Who's the guest on Joe Rogan I'm listening to right now? It's a woman. She's looking into the whole CIA MK Ultra thing and acid and how that was basically U.S. government putting that out. And
she's well researched.
Oh my God, yeah. She's writing books on it and stuff. But like this guy named Jolly West and Rogan talks about him a lot. He was like the head of the whole thing, and it's friggin' amazing what she's talking about. And mind manipulation, like Jack Ruby, for instance. They talk about Jack Ruby specifically, who killed what was his name? The guy that killed Kennedy. Jack Ruby shot him. Oswald. Jack Ruby shoots Oswald. Jack Ruby goes in. Jack Ruby is in, I think, jail or mental institution. Jolly West visits him. His mind is gone after that. He completely loses his shit because they think Jolly West went in, gave him, like, dosed him with something, and the CIA literally has different medications this woman's talking about that will destroy your mind, like disembodied, cuts off your mind from your body, and like you're just fucked. They have medication that does that shit.
Chad, did you? I don't know how far you're into it, but she was basically saying like this program started after World War II because some of the like there was 21 soldiers that didn't want to like come back or something from there, like they were brainwashed like to want to stay over there or something. So the US realized like that you know, this other government had forms of like mind manipulation, and this is when they started to get into the MK Ultra and all that stuff. So they were a little late to the party, but seems like they fucking got pretty good with it.
Pretty amazing.
It's just nuts, man. I mean, Manson was a fucking, you know, operative, basically. They fucking gave him the tools and acid to kill people. Like, it's just, there's a lot that goes into the greatest nation on the planet that is not so great when you look at fucking the history of some of the shit we've done.
That's what we found out about USAID, is that it became the funding arm of the CIA because there were certain things that the CIA would have to get permission for to fund, right?
Right.
And USAID, this is all through Doge, figured out that USAID could fund those things and not be accountable to the government. So the CIA was working with USAID all over the world, like regime changes, all kinds of crazy shit that the USAID was funding. Gracey's beautiful eyes. Thank you. Hey, put up
Yeah,
Matt
baby.
Fraser's his my family had a firefighter.
Gotcha.
My family, a firefighter friend in Pentagon. One of the firefighters put together a video of all the crashes. Oh yeah.
It was hard to watch. Put the songs on a video as well as
Oh
one with
cool.
Overcome.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Rock
That's
on.
very hard to watch all that stuff. I mean, there's
Yeah.
it most likely was an inside job, but there's a lot of human tragedy in it, obviously. But and that's how you go. How why would the government do something like that? It's like, think about what happened right after that. Think about Bush's presidency at that point. He was fucking tanking. 9/11 happens. He
Yeah.
gets up top of the pile. He gives that speech, and we go to war. Like
Yeah.
big time.
He had me. I was fucking ready to
Oh,
sign
yeah.
up, dude. I
Well,
was ready to go.
It was a patriotic moment. I mean, you just remember the
Yeah.
country then. Everyone's driving around with their flags on their cars, and like everybody's like nice to each other. Even Joe Rogan talks about this. Even in LA, everyone's like, "Oh my God, yeah, fuck these people!" Like they united the country. It was the same thing as Pearl Harbor. It was just the same operation. Pearl Harbor was
Yeah.
meant to unite the country to go to war.
So do you think that we allowed that to happen too, to get into
There's
the war?
lots of
Yeah.
evidence about. Yeah, we knew it was going to happen.
Right. How would all those planes be flying towards us and we have
Yeah.
no clue? You know, like it just seems a little suspect.
And we were isolationists at that point. We're like, we're not getting in any of these wars. Like the whole country was like after World War One, the country was like complete
Yeah.
isolationist, and we're like, we're not
Because
yeah,
it wasn't
exactly.
our
It's like,
fight, man.
that's Europe. We're not getting in that fight. And but
Yeah.
I mean, and I think rightfully so. So this is an instance where I think it was the right thing to do, right? Because had we not gotten into World War II, England would have lost. Germany would have taken over all of Europe and controlled it. It
Yeah.
would have been the Third Reich all over the place, right? Which then would have probably
Yeah.
allowed them to try to somehow invade us. I don't know how that would have worked logistically. Then you have the Japanese in the Pacific going crazy too.
Oh, they would have figured it out. Yeah.
So it's one of those instances where it's fucked up that you knew it was going to happen, but like it was for the greater good. I don't know where
Right.
9/11
Right.
has
Right.
greater good though.
Oh, so that was to the point. So it was basically our government was listening to the people at that point. Like our people didn't want to go into the war, and then the government had to go along with it. And this was the way for our government to basically force us into the war.
Motivate people,
was allowing that to happen.
to go to war. Absolutely.
Wow, man.
But that was, like I said, that was for the
Like,
greater good. That was to destroy, Nazism
yeah.
and the Imperial Japanese. Like they had to be dealt with.
But right, but rather than that, like, couldn't you have just went in and joined the war against us? Like, so we didn't have to have Pearl Harbor happen and then be like, it was all for the good. Like, it's just the fact that you have to let people die so you can get your agenda and like the right thing to happen. It just seems like there has to be a fucking better way, man.
Conversely, people were going to die anyway.
Yeah.
War.
Yeah. Dude, I feel like the way you could fucking run the country, man, because you could have these distinct things where you could fucking draw lines. You know what I'm saying? Like you could separate it in your head.
I mean, sometimes what the government does is for the greater good. Generally not, especially nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah. At one point, they had the fucking greater goods mind in tail, and then they realized, like, oh, by doing these things, like we could actually control and change minds and have them hop on board with what we want to accomplish.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So it's like, how do you fault somebody when you kind of allow them to do it? Again, it's still evil, but it's just like we're kind of allowing it, and no more.
Jamie's saying watch documentary 4 Planes.
4 Planes on Hulu right now. It shows that the FAA, air traffic controllers, and other pilots experienced on 9/11.
Oh yeah, The Fall of the Cabal. That's a great series too, Brenda. You're absolutely right.
What's that about?
The cabal is, I mean, just another name for the worldwide deep state, the elites, if you will, the Rothschilds, the friggin' the Vanderbilts, all those giant families that have generational wealth that supposedly control all the strings.
Right. And we know that, right? The Rothschilds, the Vanderbilts, it's just like once they start getting married names in there, then it starts to fraction. You don't kind of realize like what family they relate directly back to. But it's almost like we know who's the fucking puppet master and who's pulling the strings here and kind of how to backtrack it to where it goes to. So it's like, I think it's not going to be too long before it's all exposed and it's all out in the open and you know where the
There
fuck
you
it's
go,
coming
Scotty.
from.
Bilderberg, that's right. The Bilderbergers. Gotta like them.
Not the
No.
Wahlburgers.
You know the Bilderbergers? You know what that is?
I've
Yeah.
heard the name, but
Well, so it's
refresh me.
basically a meeting of all the elite. Happens every 2 years. The initial meeting happened at the Bilderberg Hotel in Holland, and I've actually stayed there,
Okay.
which is wild. But it's just a meeting of
Damn.
all these world leaders, heads of the press, royalty, ultra high level CEOs from all these big companies. They meet secretly every year, or no, every 2 years. I think they do one in Europe and they do one in America. Every 2 years, you hear nothing about it. There's a press blackout about it. You don't know. You don't. There's no list of
Wow.
actually who's there. People guess who's there. But it's like, and they're meeting to talk about something. Like, what are they doing? What's they're setting agendas. Bohemian Grove too, same thing. But yeah, they're so all these high level people in the world are meeting twice, every 2 years and doing something. They're talking about something. I guarantee, I would almost guess that it's not for the greater good.
No. I thought Bohemian Grove was like a gay fucking
No,
meetup.
no, 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 no.
No.
That's crazy high end, elite people too that meet and they worship what's the big owl's name? They worship this friggin' owl. They do mock sacrifices to this giant owl, and they have all these ceremonies.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
and you can't
That's
get
where
into it. It's all secured, and
oh, Alex Jones
he did
broke
break
into
into it,
that.
yes, and
That's
that
that
was
one.
one of his very first videos back in the day. Yeah,
And like that's crazy, man. Like even though it's like it's all done, like it's not like a baby they're actually burning, but the fact that it's like a doll baby that they're burning,
maybe.
like it's just all weird. Maybe, but it's just weird practices. Like,
Yeah,
what the fuck are you guys doing there? It's just strange
exactly.
behavior.
Moloch. Thank you, Scotty. Moloch is the name of the deity that they worship.
Like, Chad, if you found yourself at that place, wouldn't you be sketched out and like, yo, what's going on here, people? What are you
Well,
doing?
exactly. Like, why does oh man, I can't who there's been very famous people that have gone there, and you're like, what do you like? Why are you going to that? You know,
Like Bob Dole or some
maybe
shit.
Bob Dole. There's a list somewhere.
Oh, Gore. Yes. Oh
No,
no,
I
maybe
don't
not
know if
Gore.
Gore's been there. He might have been. Al Gore, he did invent the internet. What are you saying, Troy? Al Gore, what was at Bohemian Grove or Bilderberg? I
The
don't think he's
one dude
important enough.
that Alex, yeah, probably not. Well,
He's
he's
a
all,
climate shyster. He's made hundreds of millions of dollars from his climate shyster bullshit.
yeah, as he's
And
flying private jets to
oh
these
yeah, he's still out there
conferences.
saying the same. It's like, I was all scared about 2006 when the Inconvenient Truth came out, and I was like, oh my god, the planet's fucked, and then you cut to 10 years later, none of that shit happened. Nothing happened. None
Yeah,
of his predictions happened. Nothing. And he's still out there saying the
dude, I
same
don't
shit.
know.
Or like, stop, man. He lives in a
Right.
10,000 square foot house or 12,000 square foot house in Nashville. It uses more power than like 20 homes, and he flies around private jets. And that's the common theme with
Yeah.
all these climate activists. These climate elitists are all flying around private jets and telling you that you can't have a gas stove.
Yeah, Mr. Environment's fucking up the environment.
And now they're burning
Yo,
down
Chad, this,
Teslas and sending all these noxious fumes from the batteries burning down. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. I don't know if this is true, but I ran across an article that says fucking Antarctica is like
Mhm.
gaining ice shelves and
Yep.
caps rapidly like they've never
Yeah.
seen before.
It's like the whole ice pack is up like 17% from last year. Yeah.
Yeah. Shouldn't that be bigger
Oh,
news,
well, no,
dude?
it doesn't fit
Like,
the narrative.
yeah,
No.
man. It's just fucking crazy. Like the fact that we're ruining the planet, yet we're not. It's got the most fucking green
Right.
it's ever been. The fucking ice caps are growing fucking rapidly.
Well,
Like, do you want us to
carbon
fuck up the
dioxide is
planet?
good
Like,
is good for plants.
yeah, that's what they need to live. And then what they need to live, they give us oxygen so we
Yes.
could live. It's a weird
And as I always
scenario
say,
you got
the
going there.
climate changes. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
But it's
Mhm.
not an existential threat to your friggin' way of life, and you're not gonna die from it. Don't worry.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny, dude? That this planet is like so crazy with, how it like just is and like, the way it works. Like to think that like people could like fuck up its I'm not saying that we can't, but just to think that people are bigger than the earth, and we could like fuck up its
Yeah.
whole thing. I don't know, man. I think it's got a little bit more powerful. Like Mother Nature is more powerful than what we are
Oh,
coming up with.
100%. 100%.
And
It's all about
yeah,
control and money. It's all about control and taxes. Like, just think about what the green agenda is. It's control and taxes. You can't do this. You can't do that. You have to pay these taxes
right.
for this. You have to pay these carbon taxes. You can't have a gas stove. You can't do this. You can't go over here. We don't want you driving your cars. You got to have electric cars. It's all fucking bullshit. It's all control.
But they're
But they got
got
it
it all,
exact
but
well,
they have it all.
that's the common theme
Yeah,
always. They have access to everything. They can eat all the meat they
right.
want, but you gotta eat fucking
Yeah,
bugs. They can fly on their private jets, but you gotta give up your gas stove and your gas water heater because of the climate, but they'll fly on the private jet all day long. They can do whatever they
right.
want, but tell you how to live, and that's the whole elitist thing. It sucks.
And Chad, like they've you've seen that that's exactly what they're going to do just by the fact when they said, "No, you cannot dine indoors in
Yep.
restaurants," and then they're dining
That was
indoors
the
in
pandemic.
restaurants. They
Mhm.
show you.
That was
Yeah,
that
man.
was COVID was like yeah, COVID was their big, brouhaha about how they can actually really control the public.
Yeah. Uh, do you think that because it worked for them in the beginning, but then I think they lost control. Do you think that this was they probably just gained information from it, but I don't think that it was like it worked the way that they wanted it to. I think it did in the
It did for a
beginning.
while, yeah, and then people started seeing through the bullshit. I mean,
Yeah.
the ridiculous of it. You walk into a restaurant with a mask, but then you sit down and you can take your mask off. So COVID goes right over your head in a restaurant. Don't worry.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
sit down and you're below 6 feet, and COVID doesn't get you. Say what? So dumb.
Yeah.
The whole
It
thing was
really was,
ridiculous,
man.
man. I mean, just the way it all went down, the way you heard about it. Oh, it came from a wet market. None, and there's all this little information. No, no, no. It came from the lab, the Wuhan Institute of Virology. That I read an article in April or May of 2020 where the moratorium was set by Obama for gain of function research in this country, and then they shipped it to Wuhan, funded by the NIH, headed by Fauci, who
Yep.
now has a pardon.
Yep.
Why does your top scientist and your god of the pandemic need a pardon?
Yeah. Why?
Did you ever? I mean, does any
If
lefty stop and like logically think about that? Why does the guy who shut down our country, forced
oh,
a
they think
jab
about it.
on you, told you had to wear masks, and then 2 masks, and then maybe 3 masks, shut down schools, but then he has a pardon when the president leaves office. What now?
Hmm.
Why would that be? It's so strange, and profited massively from the vaccine.
Yeah. And
Huh.
now I'm seeing articles come out, Chad, that Pfizer's vaccine is responsible for 40% more
Oh, yeah.
deaths than the other. vaccine. So now these articles are actually
Mhm.
saying that these vaccines are responsible
Oh, yeah.
for deaths. And now they're labeling this one is actually responsible for more deaths than this one. So now we know that these vaccines
Wow.
killed people and that some of
Well,
them
now
killed
the
people
general
more.
public knows. We knew before that. But it
Right,
was a
right,
conspiracy
right.
theory, and you're wrong. You're spreading misinformation. You don't know what you're talking about. You're not a scientist. Like, oh, okay, yeah. But
Yeah.
that's my
We
whole
could
point. Like,
follow.
if I'm able to find this information that is true, as just as a drummer in a rock band, and then know
Yeah.
what's really going on, and you see the mainstream media then censor that information or ban people from talking about it, and you go, wait a minute, something's this is weird. Like, why are they banning and censoring this information when it could be helpful? Like doctors that were like, no, we should give them ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine. No, nope, nope, no medical license for you. You're done. Like, what?
They literally, the medicines that would help you, they were telling you were
Mhm.
bad for you, Matt. When you have fucking Rogan coming on telling you what he took and got better in 3 days, and then CNN is taking his image and fucking making him look pale and making him
Oh
look
my God,
green
yeah,
and all,
so
like,
crazy. Oh
there's
yeah,
an issue, man.
that's the this is the propaganda that they live on over there, and but they
Yeah.
forever they just don't realize it. It's just like wow.
And we kept saying, Chad, like all along, like, okay, it has to be that people are just not paying attention, maybe fucking not, but now you're getting the fucking information. And if you haven't, you're a
Mhm.
fucking moron. Like, and we were saying it back then. I was a little bit more, I think, and you were kind of maybe being a little nice to them, but like they need to fucking like or maybe you weren't, but I think that we were giving them too much leeway
Mm.
or something. And we you can't do it anymore because I wanted to believe that people were good and like they were just inherently blind to what was going on, but it's more that comes out. No, it's not blindness. It's either evil or
Well, I think you
fucking
have people
whatever.
that don't know and that maybe don't want to know the truth.
That's
But
oh,
then
okay. Ignorant.
you have people that wake up and go, "Oh shit, I've been lied to, and I'm being lied to."
Right.
Then you have people that don't want to admit that they're wrong. Don't want to admit that these things are
Yeah.
true, and they just double down on it. And you're truly
Yeah.
living a lie because you know what's real, but you go with the fake narrative. Still wear your mask in your car and fucking, you know, still
Right.
getting boosters and like, uh, uh, it's like, how much information do you need before you go, yeah, this is all a big lie.
Yeah. And nobody wants to be wrong, but when you're wrong and it's fucking killing people and putting people down and stuff, like that's when you need to fucking really be like, okay, I was wrong and fucking make steps
Yeah.
towards it. Like if you want to keep living ignorantly, you can't do it anymore because the consequences are too fucking
Hmm.
much, man.
And then when you have government officials like the mayor of New York offering you free fries to get a vaccine, like something's wrong. Something is very wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Like literally, let me give you something that will fucking make you morbidly obese.
Well, that
You
too, but
know,
yeah,
to
just
give
like,
you a
but having to like bribe you into doing it, right? The
yeah.
free fry. Oh, is there a burger component to this? Well, it's the fucking cheesiest thing I've ever seen. I'm just like, who is falling for this? Who is watching that video going, oh yeah, I'm gonna get the vaccine now. I'm getting free fries. Oh, okay, let's go do it. It's like, what?
Well, you know, it was the people getting the fucking Pfizer
Oh my
tattoo
god.
and their
Yeah,
fucking "I'm vaccinated"
yeah.
tattoo, and
And now that now Trump's come out and cutting drug prices, and you have certain people
bad.
going, this is bad. Wh- What?
Yeah,
Oh, they're not going to make enough profits. Like what? These evil motherfuckers. They're evil. These pharmaceutical corporations. I mean, there's some good that come. There's some pharmaceuticals that do good things, right? But it's all for profit.
right.
Like they don't give a shit about you.
Yes,
They don't care
yes,
about you. Like they make up a new drug so that they can sell it, right? That they don't.
right.
Yeah, and it masks some symptom of some disease. Great. And then you got to take another thing to mask those symptoms. It's all a friggin' facade. I mean, but
Yep. And you just hit the nail on the head with that, Chad, is that, yes, they do put out some medicine that is good, but it's only because they're making a
Right.
profit off it. If they could put out all medicine that was bad and make profit off it,
Oh,
that's
for
what
sure.
they would do. They're not putting out the good
Oh,
medicine
most of
because
it
it's good
is.
medicine.
I would say most of
Yeah,
it is.
man.
I mean,
When you start speaking truth,
I mean, look at like statins, for instance. Statins are fucking horrible. I wouldn't take a statin. I'd be like, fuck you, I'm not taking a statin. Shut your mouth.
and that's
That's
like
for they
to control
yeah, they can
cholesterol.
because there's this one assigned number for your cholesterol being bad. It's like, no, everyone's cholesterol is different, and you have
Yeah.
LDL and HDL, and it's like, no, 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 I'm not taking a statin and fucking suppressing my fucking my cholesterol with these bullshit drugs. I'm not doing it. Sorry, not doing it.
Yeah.
Not doing it.
It's just it's just sad when you can't fucking, and you've always known that you can't trust the government, but it's just sad when you can't trust your doctors because they're fucking getting
Oh,
bribes
they're getting
and
paid by the
fucking whatever
pharmaceutical.
from the
That's what I said about earlier about RFK. I mean, if he bans the advertising of he should of pharmaceuticals in this country, it will revolutionize the it will revolutionize and get rid of stupid ass mainstream media. But it would also,
Yep.
I think, really help the medical system
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
now a doctor actually has to do some research and figure out, oh, should I give the patient this instead of the patient coming in and going, I want to take trizepatide or blicka 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 because I saw a commercial for it and I have this one symptom. I can't cough correctly, so I got to take something. Blah, blah, whatever it is, it's ridiculous. But
Right.
that's the whole point of it. Like they advertise, they play it on after every news segment, and people go, oh, I have restless leg syndrome. I need to take blocka blocka. It's like stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, though, if he takes that away from them, that is what supports CNN, MSNBC. That's all their fucking where all their money
Mhm.
comes in from. So they will literally be up shit's creek without a paddle, or they're going to have to find real sponsors that are on board with their bullshit,
Right.
which they won't.
Exactly.
They'll have to they'll have to start
It'll be a
reporting
true
the
free
truth or
market at
go out
that
of
point,
business.
and then they'll have to actually either adapt and start doing real journalism again and telling the truth about everything, including the good stuff that Trump does, or they're going to all die. And they're
Yep.
already dying even with big pharma's support right now. You take that away, it's like it's going to accelerate it big time.
Agreed. Let's see what Mama Gracey has here. Doctors are involved with it too. They get kickbacks
Oh,
for prescribing
absolutely,
them. Yeah,
100%.
100%. And I don't think they're doing continuing education. They're just taking like, oh, well, this is good. They're going to give me a kickback for
Oh,
that. We'll prescribe that
doctors
rather
don't
than
learn about that shit. I mean, I'm sure there's some doctors out there that have, morals and fucking
yes,
actually want to be a good doctor that will be like, no, no, no. What does it do? Like, let me make sure this is a good drug. But most of them are just like,
right.
no, kickbacks. Okay, pay me. I'll prescribe it. Write the scripts. Get the money. Boom.
Welp, I think we said a lot here, Mr. Gracey, and my stomach is rumbling. For those who don't know, I was shitting my brains out
Oh boy.
before the show. Chad knows. I was FaceTiming him while doing it. I had to show him my
I told him to
masterpiece in
put
the
a
bowl.
bucket in the corner there and go on TV. I mean, go live, not on TV, on the podcast.
Next week, that's what we're doing. I'm bringing back the bucket,
Yeah.
folks. Gracious audience, we do appreciate you. We have Mr. Tommy Parker coming on
Sweet.
next week. Should be a fun show. And we got a bunch of cool stuff coming up for you. So we appreciate you guys. Testicle Tuesday, Gracious Tuesday, all that jazz.
Testicle Tuesday. Love it. All right.
Love it.
Peace, everybody. Later. Thank
Peace.
you.
Whoop, hold on.